All right. Today is the final in a 3-pod series where we talk about the start to finish process of a song called Who'da Believed from our most recent current big band album called
Keep on Moving.
Keep On
Keep on Moving.
I'm Jeff Megan.
And I'm David Tobin. And this is Two Composers, Two Continents. So why don't we talk about the story so far?
Okay, where are we up
Previous episodes. So first off, we talked about, we came up with a concept for the song, which you then sent me.
Birds and bees, flowers and trees, like everything that belongs together.
We arranged it, we messed around with it, we created a demo, we've wrote 3 different intros for it.
Birds and bees, flowers and trees, like everything that belongs together, we're meant to be. Oh, who'd have believed?
Figured out how we wanted the band to sound approximately. Sent it to our publisher, who loved it. Boom. Boom. Sent it to our orchestrator, Martin Williams. Got an orchestration back, put it through music prep, got it to a recording state, recorded at Abbey Road Studio 2, and then went to LA, worked with Sarah Namitz, got a fantastic vocal.
What an affair in that moment, I swear I'll never be without you again. Sun and moon, the warmth of June, your hand in mine, promising forever. Who'd have believed? Oh, who'd have believed?
And came back, and now we're ready for post-production.
We're back from LA. After all that process, it's been over a year now probably.
Oh, yeah.
How do you feel?
We talked a little bit at the last episode about how I felt coming directly back from Sarah and how you felt as well.
Right.
And at that point, there is an element, a tinge of sadness, because this process is it's not that it's over, it's just that half the fun is the journey of the creation.
Yeah,
you kind of feel that. But at this point, I'm just excited to open it up. I want to hit play, and I just want to hear it. I want to sit in my studio with a cup of tea when nobody's looking, and just not be bothered. I want to hit play in Pro Tools at this stage. We've gone through 2 different programs. We've never talked about that, but we've written it in one. It's then been recorded in another. We're now in
it's
Pro
our
Tools.
3rd program because we probably started it in Logic and then it went into Sibelius and now it's in Pro
Yeah, we're
Tools.
playing tennis through digital applications.
Yeah.
So we're in Pro Tools. I've hit play, and I just want to listen. And there's always the little bit of finagling of making sure things are laid out so I can hear them, right? But we should probably...
So yeah, I was just going to say. So let's talk a little bit about the editing and what it means to edit and what the process is all about.
Yeah, well, let's overview post-production starting with editing.
Okay.
So you've got the editing, by which at this stage we're choosing from the multiple recordings we've done, takes, right?
Yeah.
And during that process, well, we'll talk about what it means to edit in a second, but let's say that we're going to edit, and what else we've got here. Then we're going to
edit, and then we're going to send it off to the mixer. But
in between that, you've got to prepare it so that it's ready for him, so he understands what you want, and it's laid out. You've cleaned your bedroom, and you haven't left the socks on the floor, and then you're sending it to mix in post-production. And then there's a lot of production in terms of producing what you're hearing.
Absolutely, as far as the mix is concerned. Yeah. There's a bit of a to and fro there, and then it goes on to mastering, which we don't have anything to do with the mastering process at all, really. But so that's it. So we got editing, mixing, and then mastering, and then then it's done, just like that. Boom.
Artwork, lyric choices, naming things.
There you go. Yeah.
But okay, editing.
So
Chapter 1.
Okay. Chapter 1. The edit. What are you looking for when you're editing something?
I was fascinated when we talked about this previously, that we don't approach it in the same way, which was new to me after 15 odd or more years.
Yeah.
I'll start with me and then I'll ask you about you.
Sure.
But for me, I listen to it as a whole, and then I listen again, and then I listen again until I feel that it's not new. I mean, I know the song, but the edit, I know what I've got in front of me. assuming that it's all left in a listenable state that I can hear.
Generally, so when we get something back, there's a temporary edit, if you will, right? A comp of good takes.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's in very broad strokes. Yeah.
Yeah, but bearing in mind that if you've recorded at Abbey Road, the composite that's been made is going to be different from Sarah Namath's
comp. Well, yeah, there is no
comping,
comp,
or
really,
there isn't.
that. Yeah.
So the vocal, there may have been 20 or 30 takes of certain things on the vocal.
Yeah.
And so what you're listening to may have been something where we've said, which we talked about last time, can you just do something out there?
Right.
So I might be listening to something wild and wacky, which I know isn't likely to be where we end up.
Mm-hmm.
So my first process is to get an approximation, just a rough approximation to listen. Then I generally turn the vocal off. Once I've heard the vocal and I've heard it and I get it, I understand where we're at.
Yeah.
At that stage, I'm listening to the band. And for me, it's the rhythm section. I want to know how tight the performance is, because whilst I can move notes of the bass or mess around with the placement of the guitar if there are timing issues, because what are we looking for here? We're looking for bad notes, we're looking for tuning issues, timing issues,
ensemble issues, noises in the
all
room
of those,
or on instruments,
coughs, farts, burps, whatever.
Right.
But really, it's all about the quality of the approach of the performance. This is what it comes down to. It could be perfect.
Yeah, the vibe or whatever you want to say. Yeah.
Yeah, really. So, firstly, I'm listening through all of the takes and saying, before I start making something, did they already do this? On one of the takes, do I listen left to right and think, yeah, but what I've ended up making, they did. They already did. So I listen through.
Gotcha.
Each take.
Yeah. Each take. Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I'm here and
that's your job.
yeah, kind of being paid to do that. So I listen through the takes. I then get the closest one to what I'm looking for. That's usually all about attitude and performance.
Right.
And invariably, as you start listening, and there's more of a microscope on what I'm listening to.
Right. Well, that's so interesting that you say that, because I think once you start working on something, you start on a real baseline level, right? And then you start making changes, and then it gets a little deeper, and then before you know it, you are on a microscopic level, right, where you're like, well, geez, I didn't hear how the tail end of that note dips down a little bit. Yeah. I wonder if there's one where it doesn't do that. I mean, it gets really, really specific on things.
And I've got friends who work.
A lot of it probably doesn't really matter in the end. But,
but talking to people in other creative disciplines, if you will. I know people talk about this 80-20 rule of, 80% of what you do, you get it to that point, and the last 20% is just to make sure that you feel that it's
you're
right.
Happy with it, yeah.
And I genuinely don't care. It's 100% about how I feel for me.
I agree, yeah.
You get that?
Yeah, oh yeah.
So I'm listening for the performance, and then I'm listening. We're not creating perfection. I don't feel it. The imperfection is the joy, but
Absolutely.
There is a level of if it's out of time between instruments, if the ensemble's not quite right.
There's tuning, if they're, yeah. I mean, it is amazing how specific and how different things can be, even when you first hear something, and they may essentially sound the same, but when you really start listening to something, and maybe the balance of the horns is just one guy was blowing a little harder than someone else, or someone hit something that just sticks out a little bit.
But the whole point of the prelays that we talked about in the last episode, and those being recorded to the noise of a click track, is that each take pretty close. And when you're working with the world-class musicians that we're working with, they're hitting at the same point each time.
They're pretty darn,
and what that means is that you can move from take to take to take to take to take, even if it's for small moments, just for seconds.
Right.
And if necessary, you can create something if you need to, if you want to.
Right.
And sometimes we do. And on this, the intro goes through.
We used 4 different takes in going between 4 different
4
takes.
bars maybe. 5 bars.
Ba 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 da ba ba ba. I mean, it's all.
Yeah.
Some of them are really specific. Just one bop.
Okay, here we go. Take 4. Take 2. Take 3. Take 2. Take 4.
Yeah. We should tell the story about the edit.
For A Glimmer of Your Smile.
Yeah, this was a
Yeah.
song 14, 15 years
it was a
ago,
while ago, yeah.
on our first Audio Network big band album. Right? We were working with Donna Byrne. Donna Byrne.
Fantastic Donna Byrne, yes.
Well, you tell it. You're just
Well,
the
so
better storyteller.
and we were in Boston at Crit Harmon's studio with her in the room, and we walked out feeling fantastic. We got everything we needed. There's no question about that. But this particular, at the end of the song, on this edit, or on a few of the takes, none of them really had exactly what we needed.
She sings just for one glimmer of your smile. Jeff said, smile. Wait a minute, it doesn't do that. So we thought, no problem, we'll just put another one in.
Some of them were missing, like
We'd got the
T
word.
on just was gone.
Yeah,
the
glimmer of your
glimmer-
smile.
And then we realised that mile didn't work. So we tried taking the s from another take. So we ended up with smile.
Yes, and here it is. Here's that edit right there.
Each one had a little thing missing. So we went fishing through the whole track for T's and D's and S's and all kinds of
Oh,
stuff.
there's a point where literally you just went
Yeah.
and got a sound.
We went through the whole song just to find
Right.
put it in, and then it went just from one. So we then had to match it down until it was exactly the same.
Let's take a look at that.
And nobody else would notice or care, and that's what I was talking about.
There you go.
But-
That's exactly right.
But I felt
But
right,
I mean,
and you
yes,
did.
it needed to be done. You know,
Yes.
for us, it needed to be done.
Yeah, but if you don't love your art, then
it's got to
what's the
suffer
point?
for it.
Yeah, but
Um,
so let's go back here. So we've created the edit of those instrumentally. I've talked long and endlessly about my process, but your process.
About the editing process.
Yes.
So when I open it up, I generally I'll start. Well, it's different, but I need to get a vocal that I can listen to. So I'll start with the vocal usually. That it really depends. I mean, sometimes we've done these in two stages where we will have already, we will have edited a lot of the band tracks or the music before we even get to the vocal.
We have to, right?
So,
Because she's
yeah.
got to sing over something that is,
Right.
pretty close to what it's going to be.
But this time in particular, we did not. We had other stuff going on and was like, well, it sounds great. I mean, the board mix was fantastic. So we didn't get to it until we had everything, right? So, but I start with the vocal because I need to be able to listen to it. And maybe I don't go fully in depth, but at least get something that's listenable. And then I kind of start where I hear something. I will, if I hear a piano thing that bothers me, I'll start with the piano. And I just, I don't have a process that says I'm going to start at the top and go to the bottom. It's just where I start hearing
Yeah,
things.
I don't
it just
either,
gets
actually. It's
molded,
just-
Your
habits, right?
Yeah, but I don't even go through and listen to all the takes.
Do you not?
No. I will listen if I think there's a mistake, And the only things that are really that have a lot of variation in them are the rhythm tracks because, like you mentioned before, the guitarist, he really just has slashes and chords on his part, right? And maybe a hint of an idea of where we'd like it to go. The pianist is the same thing. Maybe he just has slashes and he's comping over the band and under the vocal and throughout the thing.
Yeah.
So those are the places where there are possibly some real decisions to be made. But so I just kind of organically go through it.
Yeah, sometimes for me it's also the band in the shout section, in that really big section in the middle where you've just finished the vocal and into that instrumental moment. And at that stage, it's how much swagger has that lead trumpet got for
Absolutely,
me,
yeah,
how
yeah,
much
yeah.
is going on there.
Yeah.
And we might have take after take of that.
Yes.
And I listen through those just to know, on which one does he really say or she really say,
Yeah.
listen to me.
Yes. So while I don't consciously go through every take, once there's something to address, then obviously you have to listen to every take, but only in the finite things. And then it's, if you funny what you discover that, take 3 swings a little bit more, but if everyone's not doing take 3, then, you can't just flip over willy-nilly sometimes to use the piano's take 3 because it's not jiving the way with the rest of the band,
So it's
yeah,
interesting.
there's a lot of listening.
You tend to switch all of the band everybody, horns, everybody on take.
No. But I'm
But
saying
rhythm
that
section-
if you listen to a whole piano take where he was really in it for that take,
Yeah.
that won't necessarily jive with the rest of everyone else's track too. That's already sounding great.
Got it.
So you may just be able to take what you need. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of choices and decisions to be made during the editing process. That is without question.
How long, if you were putting a stopwatch on a track like Who'd Have Believed, how long are you sat there from I'm hit play to I'm going to pass this? Because we should say, before you answer that question, every single edit and scene, every single edit, you do your edit, I do mine, you start at 1, I start at 7 or 8. We
And
get
then
to the end, and then we switch.
We pass it
so
back to each other,
everything has gone through both of us because we'll both have a different view or look at things in a different way.
Yeah.
So we do that. But going back,
I don't know. I don't
long?
think it's easy to say. I think it depends upon the tune and.
But on something like this, are we talking 5 minutes or 4 hours or what?
I think
what are we
more
saying?
likely 4 hours. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, half a day maybe on an edit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's probably not. You could spend a half a day on a vocal, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And we wrote something down here, which I think is kind of important to say, that it's the ends, not the means. We're not purists, and I really feel like that. In this sense, and maybe it just comes down to vocals, but or solo instruments. I believe in fixing timing and tuning. I mean, without question. I think that if there's a fantastic performance that goes a little flat, noticeably, it's going to bother you.
Yeah.
I have no problem fixing that in post.
Because what you can't fix is attitude, right?
Right.
And so I'm much more interested in the beauty of the imperfection, but got the attitude, and then does it need fixing? Does it drag me out of that moment?
Right.
And then, okay, well, I'll push it. It's still got to sound acoustic and real and believable.
Yeah.
This isn't a T-Pain kind of thing where, you suddenly say, okay, well, I can hear the auto-tune working.
Right.
It's got to be real.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
But equally, you don't want it to drag you out because you suddenly, okay, the tuning was an issue or it's out of time.
I don't. Yeah, I'm not a purist in that. Oh, I can't touch this because it wouldn't be. It's not natural. It's not what was actually done.
No, and in the early days for me, I would feel like, okay, if I were making an album and this was not for film or TV or media use, then I probably wouldn't touch this. I'd probably leave it alone because that's not a thing.
Maybe.
And then
I don't know.
No, that's how I felt
before. Gotcha.
I don't think my process would alter at all now, whatever I'm making an album for, because I think it feels right to me.
Yeah, thank you, yeah.
Because I think I was a convert to your way of being. I was much more of a purist.
Were you?
Yeah, I think so. That I wouldn't naturally have done that. But now...
Yeah, because I kind of feel like, it's a recording, right? This is something that people are going to listen to years and years from now. And no one is going to know or care if you tuned some stuff and fixed some timing to make it sound fantastic.
Well, ultimately for me, I want this thing to sound like if this band had come and you'd put them into a concert situation, they're playing a gig, and they just knocked it out the park live.
Fantastic, yeah.
How would that have been? And that's what this is. So it's not unreal, but it's the best performance that those people could have given at any one time.
Absolutely. That's a really good way to put it.
That's how that's what I'm always aiming for.
I like it.
So let's move on, Jeffrey.
Okay.
Mixing. How do you get across to our mix engineer, Ren Swan, what you're looking for?
So, yes. So Ren Swan is the mix engineer, Grammy-winning Ren Swan. We are so blessed to be able to work with such incredible, talented people. Ren is he's fantastic at what he does. We have done many albums with Ren as the mixing engineer. And so we kind of have a sound that we knew we were going to go for. Somewhere down the road in the past, we probably sent him some temps of some tunes like, we really like the way this big band sounds in this recording, and can we mix it like this? But, luckily at this point, we're fortunate enough to be able to pack it up very nicely. We make all the edits. We folderize everything for him. And we make sure that, this is going to get really technical. We leave all audio out that we don't need anymore, right? Just to shrink the session size.
Yeah.
and then we'll send it off to him.
And sometimes there are bits where we love a take, and whatever we do, I just can't quite fix the perfect edit. And so I'll leave
it
a
for
specific
the
note.
professional. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody who knows what the hell they're doing when they're editing. Right? But I'll leave a specific, could you help us here? Because I don't want to change this take. I just don't. I like this. But it's got an issue.
Yeah.
Ren has a mixed space in the same building as our co-producer, Ali Johnson. So I know that he will have seen the brief. You know, he knows where we've come from when we're recording it, when we're writing it.
Yeah.
But Ali will have helped him.
Ali would definitely have gone in there
the
and put his brilliant ears on it and made some great suggestions. Absolutely. I know that before Ren started sending us stuff, that he and Ali had already talked, right? I mean, they had gone through probably a couple iterations, because I think we got like version 4.
Yeah, we get a file at the end and it said V4.
Yeah.
So we know he sent it, had it back, and three times before that.
Yeah.
How do you find the process? You get a mix from Ren. I'm assuming, like me, there's a little bit of excited trepidation that you're going to listen to this in its, other than the mastering of Chris Brook, in its
pretty close to done, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so often the board mix sounds so great, and you listen to it so long because we edit and we listen to over and over again, and you know, then
this is the mix you get straight out of the studio.
Straight out of the studio, and it's raw and it's beautiful. And then when it hits the mixing process, sometimes it's a little shocking because you're like, "Whoa, this is different than what I've been listening to for the last 4 months or whatever." You know?
Right.
So, but I mean, we quickly get over that. I mean, it's usually like, wow, this is going great, you know. But there's always something to comment on, because
I find it quite a frustrating process.
Yes.
I would find it a less frustrating process if I was in the room with Ren.
Right.
Because we're going to have a number of comments about all sorts of things, and they may be very general, or they may be really, really specific, down to EQs and frequencies and words and fields and all sorts of things. If I was in the room and could say, can we do that? And you hear it and say, try that. But it's like having a conversation over email.
Right.
And you're waiting for a response because Ren's busy or because it just takes a while. So you're writing down your notes and you're sending them. Yeah. And Ren is incredibly fast at, thanks, got it, and will send you a new version.
And perceptive, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
But still.
Yeah. I totally agree.
It's a one-sided list, and we make endless lists of thoughts, and I make mine and you make yours, and then you tell me that mine are wrong, and I say okay, and
sorry, it has to be done.
But it is frustrating.
Yeah, and because you're so close to the end, you know.
That's what it is.
But you know, you're right. It really is because you're not in the room, because we know what it takes to do these things, right? I mean, we have some experience mixing ourselves, so. What you would do is just so easy just to go, I wish I could just move that knob or tweak that thing, and then it wouldn't even have to be talked about, right? Or we just
Ren's
say,
opinion.
Can we bring that down? Yeah. But it's
having a sort of slower process.
Motion. Yeah.
But just because of the nature of working remotely.
Right.
But I think probably easier for us than some people because we work remotely anyway with each other.
Well, that's true. That's a good point.
I'll send something and wait, you'll send something and wait. But still, so we've got, I mean, I know we could show it, but we've got lists of edit lists of what's been done on the track and how it goes. And then we'll get it back and we'll say, actually, now hearing it like that, could we tweak this? And then you get it back. And I mean, Ren, it's like also like being a bit of an arbitration service because he's listening to our ideas.
But then he's got other people in his other ear, you know.
Yeah, he's going to have to then present this to the team, and the team at Audio Network are then going to say, yes, but we want to change this.
Right.
And then he'll send that back to us. We may say, yeah, but if you change that, we want to change this.
Amazingly patient man. Yes.
Yeah.
But at the end,
yeah,
how do you feel? Like you've gone through, which really is probably a couple of weeks of back and forth.
Yeah.
And not every day, but, you know.
How do I feel? I feel a whole range of emotions. I don't want to use the word euphoria. I need your thesaurus. I need your rhymes.
Yeah, exactly.
But euphoria, sadness, that we're there. Certainly emotional.
Yeah.
Absolutely emotional. Hearing a song that we've then been on maybe a year and a half, maybe, something like that. Hearing it.
Yeah.
it's a moment. It's this thing that you've created and you've put your heart and soul into.
Yeah.
And then you hear it and think, I would have paid money to listen to that had somebody else released that.
Yeah. It is. There's that final moment when you listen to the mix and you have no more thoughts, you have nothing you want to change, and it's like suddenly the puzzle piece just went boop right in, and you're like,
do you ever get that feeling?
I cannot believe that it's done. It really is an emotional.
Yeah, I don't know whether you get this. Do you ever get the feeling, because you're in your room by yourself and I'm in my room by myself, and now we might be listening at the same time if we get it in the afternoon. But do you ever get that feeling that you hear it and then you want to tell somebody? I don't know. I get that. I've listened to it.
You shout it from the rooftops, you mean?
Well, I'm in a room I'm in a rural part of Yorkshire.
Hey, Yorkshire!
Yeah, you've got to listen to this. Stop what you're doing. Just listen to this.
Yeah.
But I get that feeling that I want to ring somebody up and say, you've got to hear this or whatever. And especially if you're not awake by that point.
Yeah. Actually, it's funny. I mean, I do. Certainly, I want people to hear it, but I don't feel that need. I just feel such a sense of satisfaction and it's because it is such a journey and it's such a long thing. And then of course, because life goes on, right? You listen to it in the moment, by the end of the day when I get upstairs and I'm, with the family again, it's like, oh, you guys got to hear the mixes because they're so good, know? And then,
putting it on for the family in the evening. I'll go into the house and, how are you doing? It's finished. Do you want to hear this thing?
Right.
And then we'll sit round and have a listen to it.
People, they'll come down to the studio, same thing.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good stuff.
It's been a journey. You know what we should do? We should then say, obviously, it goes through a mastering process with Chris Brook. We didn't really touch on that because we don't really get involved in it. But what I should say about Chris's mastering that matters to me is that it doesn't go through a process that grossly changes the sound, which for me would be miss the point of mastering, but still it's beautifully done. It's sensitively done.
Better.
Yeah. So we should probably do some thank yous.
We want to thank Sarah Nemitz for her wonderful vocal, Lydia for her great vocal on the demo as well, to all the players in the band.
And we should talk about our orchestrators, to Martin Williams, who orchestrated this tune, to Callum Ow, who was just sensational, to Charlie Harrison, who was also just fantastic.
To Ali Johnson for his helping us produce this, executive producing it, being an all-around amazing dude. Andrew Sunnix as well, being the grand master of master dudes. Everyone at Audio Network for all the hard work they put in for all of our projects throughout the years.
And our engineer, Stefano Civetta,
yes,
who is just sensational to work with. We had such a blast doing it.
Ren Swan, of course, for his brilliant mixing, as usual.
Yep, and as we just mentioned, Chris Brook for his mastering. And to all of our friends at Audio Network, we are always just so grateful for all of the opportunity to do this and for the help, the support,
Absolutely.
The cash. Thank you so much.
Thanks for letting us use the music as well.
And yes, thank you for the music.
And hey, thank you, David Tobin. It's a wonderful journey.
And you too, Jeffrey Megan. And this has been our series on Who'd Have Believed. Check out Keep On Moving. And we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Like everything that belongs together, we're meant to be. Oh, who'd have believed? Like a river flows through canyons slow, we dance through songs written for young lovers. Lucky me. Oh, who'd have believed? When we first met, I realized you were way out of my league, but I took a chance that you would romance with me. Soon we were dancing out on the floor, slowly cheek to cheek. What an affair! In that moment, I swear I'll never be without you again. The sun and moon, the warmth of June, your hand in mine, promising forever. wanted she. What an affair in that moment, I swear I'd never be without you again. Sun and moon, the warmth of June, your hand in mine, promising forever. Who'd have believed? Oh, who'd have believed? Who'd have believed? Oh, who'd have believed?
We've been an hour and a quarter.
But listen to it. Here we go. Here's the final product.
So here's the last edit.
Coming up here, this is what we were doing.
Just for one glimmer of your smile.
That's it.
And people say we don't suffer for art.
I can't decide whether we're incredible editors or the shittiest producers in the world.